Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy IX with RPG. I'm his guest, Lacey, and today we are doing part 11. We recently arrived in Lindblum, which is a grand castle in the country to the south. In our last video, we went on an epic airship ride, crashed through a gate, fought an evil, we assume evil sorcerer who looked strangely like Bibi, and watched as our poor Vivi got his heart broken when he could not get the others to communicate with him, and then he had to watch them fall to their death. It was very, very tragic.
Yeah, it was pretty sad. Poor Vivi.
And now we are starting our adventure in Lindblum.
Indeed, and here comes the welcoming committee.
First thing he said, your airship's old. That's about right.
Yeah, pretty much. It's also pretty much wrecked.
Now, if you're used to Final Fantasy games, the name Cid should be pretty common. There's a Cid in every game. What I have found interesting is the way they portrayed Cid in this specific game. It's...
Yeah, we'll see that pretty soon. Lacey's right, it is pretty humorous, to say the least.
It really is. It's great.
Yeah. A falcon claw? What's a falcon claw?
No idea.
Maybe we'll find out soon. Maybe. If you weren't such a filthy-looking oaf.
I feel like we should put up a poll. Steiner versus Zidane. Which one is grosser?
More gross? Well, Zidane is a monkey.
Zidane's also a man whore, so...
I'm gonna say Zidane.
I see.
Because, Steiner just has rusty armor.
And a loud voice. And a penchant for getting them into a lot of trouble.
Yeah. But this is Minister Artania, who is the Minister of Lindblum, not the Regent. He's like the number 2.
He does all the political stuff.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
He does all the political stuff while Cid goes and chases women.
Which is what they're gonna... Well, I didn't know you were bringing that up yet.
See.
But yes, Cid is a womanizer, which has serious repercussions, which I hope Zidane pays attention to.
Celebrating 20 years of rule under Cid 9. Because it's Final Fantasy 9. Even though there's no Cid in Final Fantasy 1.
Are you talking about Final Fantasy 1 as far as Final Fantasy 1 Japan or Final Fantasy 1 America version?
Final Fantasy 1 is the same in Japan and America. It's not until Final Fantasy 2 that got all mixed up.
Okay, let's see.
So Final Fantasy 2 in America is Final Fantasy 4, if we haven't explained this already, because I'll admit it's been a while since we've done this, but Final Fantasy 2 in America is Final Fantasy 4 in Japan, and Final Fantasy 3 in America is Final Fantasy 6 in Japan. We didn't get the actual Final Fantasy 2, 3, or 5 until later.
I see.
But 1 is still 1.
Always remember, as usual, when you approach a Moogle, to read your mail twice, because they're going to give you a letter, and then they might send a letter.
Yes, and that is something that I do wish they would have, I don't know, condensed a little bit, because first times playing the game, you forget to check twice, because you think, okay, well, we just read the letter, so we must be good. No, you gotta check twice.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I didn't do that my first couple of times, until Jean pointed it out.
Well, okay, it's not like it's a super important thing. It's a good idea. I mean, the letters are great. They're a very good way to build the world of Final Fantasy IX. And, yeah, they're great. I love the letters. Here we have a female crew member who's kind of oblivious to what Zidane's doing here. Which, technically, Garnet is with us, and everything, and I find it strange that he's doing this, although he is a man whore, so.
Yep.
Hi, good. I'm Zidane, and you're...
Aaron.
It's Aaron. I'm gonna go get something to eat now. Do you wanna...
She's like, yeah, I'm getting away.
Now.
Bye,
See
monkey
ya.
boy.
Yeah, see ya, buddy. Poor Zidane. Man.
Didn't he just try to convince Garnet to give him a chance?
Yeah, this after having grabbed her butt. Yeah.
Yep.
That's a restricted area.
I like how they, the guards in the castle have cone heads.
We do see them in a cutscene later, and it is their armor. They're not actually cone heads.
I'm aware it's their armor. I'm just saying I like how it's cone shaped.
I like Minister Artinia's little pink bow he has.
I like how his job
And
is
it's
elevator
on his
operator.
beard. Yeah. So, as you guys can probably guess just from the elevator, this place is pretty much a lot more advanced than Alexandria. Alexandria is more... Oh, what's a good way to put it, Lacey?
Alexandria is a little bit more farm country, old, royal, less modern, and Lindblum is more technological.
Yeah, I'd say Lindblum is more, I guess steampunk-ish would be the right term here, whereas Alexandria is a little more, I don't know, something century England, pip pip cheerio and all that jazz.
A little more old-fashioned.
Yeah. As such, Lindblum happens to have an airship fleet.
They do.
And that means they're the dominant force on, well, the continent, the place where the 3, technically 4, but I'll get into that later, nations are.
Mm-hmm.
But enough jibber jabber. We're going to meet with the regent. We shall meet Cid.
Dun 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 dun.
Wow, that's foreboding music. The regent isn't here, and I don't know who. Take a look at the throne. So, Lacey,
It's a mustache on a bug.
Yeah, pretty much. And it talks.
Basically a flea.
I'd say cockroach.
Oglop. Yeah, same thing.
But yes, it is an Oglop, who is the regent, Cid, with a mustache. A glorious mustache at that. But,
Yes.
wow. Even the Oglops are big in Lindblum. He means that they're big status-wise, not that... Wow, that's a really big Oglop. Enough of your nonsense.
I like how Steiner's just oblivious and, insulting to everyone he meets.
But,
I remember you by your
he's not
mustache.
Yeah.
Sid Fabul.
Well, I
Sid
mean-
the Fool.
I do believe Fabul is a reference to... I want to say it's Final Fantasy VI.
Ah, I see.
As I believe... Oh, gosh, see, and I know I'm going to get one of these wrong one of these days. I believe that's the name of one of the cities in Final Fantasy VI. Which I believe is also ruled by King Edgar, but that's for the Final Fantasy VI playthrough. The regent has been transformed into an Oglop, and his wife, Queen Hilda, or Lady Hilda, was kidnapped. Yes. And whoever did it must have been highly skilled, and Steiner has a hunch it was Zidane. Well, I mean, Cid says that it's not possible, but Zidane is a man whore.
Mm-hmm.
Just throwing it out there. So, it's really funny because Cid here implies that he knows all about the thieving group Tantalus, which is the group that Zidane is a part of. They're a bunch of thieves, and yet he doesn't do anything about that.
He's got bigger fish to fry, bigger cockroaches to squish.
Oh, man. I can't stand the food at the castle. It's way too high class for my
So
stuff.
let's go find him a
How can
banana.
anyone... I'll bet. Oh, because he's the cheap food here is better. Today's special is soup du silence. Not bad.
Mhm.
You eat it and then you can't talk. Yo, Pops, I'll have the stupid special. That's a good way to get your stuff spit in. Speaking of glorious mustaches, look at Bobo's mustache.
That is quite glorious.
That is an Eggman-esque mustache. It's going off his face and everything. It's great.
Mm-hmm. I like how Lillian's like, move.
Yeah, well, she's working.
She's like, I'm busy. So Zane's like, oh, hey, look at the hot lady with the butt.
Yeah, pretty much. How about you and me go for a cruise on an airship? She lives in Lindblum, but apparently she's never been on an airship, which is hilarious for reasons that we'll see later in this part, but, here we meet a character who also has a tail and is wearing a bright pink coat. Rat face. Apparently she is a rat person. Yes, there are rat people in Final Fantasy IX.
It's kind of, yeah, I mean, it is a rat, but it's also kind of bunny-ish. No, it's more rat. It's more rat.
I was gonna say, I think it's the hat that makes it seem bunnyish, because those are not her ears.
The woman's like, you don't remember me.
Yeah, you're Helga, right? Wrong. Christine? No. Oh, yeah! You used to live next door to me. How's it going, Rachel? Man, you've really gotten big. That's a pretty good way to piss. That's a very good way to piss someone off.
I see that.
But no, here we have Freya, one of my personal favorite characters in this game.
The race is actually called Burmesian, not rat people.
Okay, but the slang and I guess kind of racist term is rat people, as we will see.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's Freya Crescent, I believe is actually her last name, and fun trivia, she's the only left-handed character. No, really, she's the only character who's left-handed.
Is she the only one?
Yes, I do believe so.
That's interesting.
Isn't it? Interesting trivia. But here we learn about the Festival of the Hunt, where you hunt monsters, and it's a festival. We'll learn more about that later. But Freya apparently has no reason to return to Burmecia because there's nothing there for her. She is on a quest to search for her boyfriend, as they were talking about earlier. And, well, he ain't in Burmecia. And, well, at this point, we're getting to see a lot of dialogue between Garnet and Cid, which, of course, the Dane is not present for, and, well...
Yeah.
Cid, okay, so Cid's gonna reveal pretty much that, yeah, he knew all along that the Queen's acting really different, and, well, there's also more about it. Apparently nobody's been taking Garnet seriously at the castle.
Mm-hmm.
Because they all think that she is distraught over losing her father, who died, I believe, a year prior. A year prior to when this game started.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can understand why people would think that. But Cid of Lindblum was very close with Garnet's father. Like, really, really close. In fact, I think he is actually her biological uncle. I believe. I might be wrong about that. But, yeah. Here we see Cid was the one who ordered Tantalus, the thieves group, to kidnap Princess Garnet.
Which is why he didn't arrest them.
Yeah, but, I mean, it's still very odd, because what about prior to this? I mean, it's not like they're well, I mean, they are thieves, but...
It depends on what you're thieving, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess. We've learned that they're, well, I'll save that for later, but I'd argue more treasure hunters most of the time, so, yeah. But yes, Sid wanted Zidane and company to kidnap Garnet, get her out of Alexandria, because, well, he promised her father that should anything happen and there was any kind of danger to Garnet, that, well, Sid would do something to help her.
Mm-hmm.
Because Garnet was fed up with nobody listening to her, she decided that she wanted to run away from Alexandria to get to Lindblum, to talk to Sid to get him to help her mother. And she learns that even though that was her plan, she was a step behind. And Regent Sid believes that even if Queen Bran has an army of black mages, them having an airship fleet means that they're going to be able to easily fend off the black mages.
Maybe, I don't know. Flying wood, things that set things on fire.
Yeah, but I mean, they also have to be able to reach the airships. I don't know the range on fire spells.
That's true. I don't know either.
But this is the heart and soul of Lindblum, the airship dock. This is where they conduct research on airships, as Sid said, and build airships. However, though, there is not one airship here.
Nope, there's not.
Had a new airship model in there about 6 months ago. It was our latest creation. It didn't require mist to fly, so I don't remember if we talked about that, but for airships to work, they require mist. Mist being the, well, you guys remember, it's the really bad substance. The same kind of thing that was fueling that egg-making machine and whatnot for the black mages in the village of Dolly. Airships require mist in order to fly. However, though, they managed to build an airship that used, I think he said already, but steam rather than mist in order to fly, and so it was actually able to fly anywhere. Apparently, mist is only around on the mist continent, and so can't really fly without the mist, which means you're not going to be able to leave the continent via airship.
Well, I'm glad that they're fixing the south gate.
Yeah, I gotta say, they got on that pretty darn
Can
fast.
they come build some of the roads here in Texas? Because we could, you know, use some quickness.
Well, we'll see more about this later, but I don't know if you want these guys that they have fixing the south gate, fixing your roads. But we'll see that later. But it's a new day in Lindblum, and not Vivi. Well, I mean, maybe Vivi. But Zidane woke up, got out of bed, and is talking to Vivi. Vivi hasn't really been in a city this big, because Lindblum is a lot bigger than Alexandria.
Mm-hmm.
It's, to put it in terms that are relatively similar to the people commentating here, it's like the one guy who's from, some tiny town in Iowa going to a big place like Dallas. Yes, I'm Vivi.
Mm-hmm. I like how Zidane's just publicly saying, here's our hideout.
Yeah, our hideout is in the theater district. Come say hi, it's a nice place. Because Zidane lives
I like
in
how
Lindblum,
Vivi's like, I don't need your help. I'm good. I'm gonna go on my own.
Well, I mean, he's probably... Well, maybe he's worried that... Maybe Vivi's worried that Zidane's gonna try and hook him up with a girl, and maybe Vivi just wants to explore.
And Zidane does have a lot of trouble. Get into a lot of trouble. So now we're talking about
Yes,
the
he
synthesis
does.
shop.
Indeed. Lacey, can you explain the synthesis
Not
shop?
very well. Basically, there are things where you
what?
take items and you get new items. It's why you don't
Wait,
ever
so
sell
there's-
anything.
Yes, and what Lacey said, even though the other description was it's a shop where you turn things into other things, what she said is very, very important. That is why you do not sell anything.
Yep. Oh, it does still cost you gold, apparently, to mix them together.
Well, I mean, you got to pay the people for their time.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's put it this way. If you ran a normal shop, but, well, let's not use a normal shop. Let's use a restaurant, but somebody brought the ingredients themselves, but wanted you to cook it, wouldn't you still want to charge them for you having to cook it?
I wouldn't cook it because you don't know where that shit's been.
Hey, it's not like you're eating it.
But it's infectious diseases, man.
I guess. We got a letter from Ruby!
Woohoo!
It's a good thing that... Ruby, being the girl with the Texas accent, not Lacey, but...
Uh-huh. The one we left in Alexandria.
Indeed.
Who's starting a mini theater.
She is, and she wants actors. We need to remember that for later.
See if we can find people who can go help her.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't end up sending her a narcissistic jerk.
So Zidane's not going back to Alexandria?
Not anytime soon. Not to ruin anybody's dreams, but no, not anytime soon. Way it is, we're going to be spending quite a bit of time in Lindblum. There's a lot to do here. So, talking about synthesis shops, like Lacey said, they do still cost money. You do need specific materials. It is usually old equipment, which is why you do not sell anything. And yeah, it's something I both love and hate because you get so much equipment in the game, and yet you can't really sell any of it. Oh, but first, this is a note from a character named Lonnie.
I never read that. Who wants you to get rid of the Moogle?
Because it keeps going Koopo all night.
That is a little annoying.
Well, I mean, it makes you wonder what it's Koopoing about. This is another example of the small town person in a big city. Poor Steiner.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna give a crap about who he is. Ha! The red mage is like,
poor guy.
Yeah, good luck.
She's like, yeah, good try, but no. See ya. Poor Steiner. Nobody loves him. Grandma Pickle.
Hopefully you don't steal this grandma's money too.
But she apparently sells something called Gissel pickles. Gissel.
I think it's Gishel. Yeah, because it's Gishel greens when they turn into other stuff.
Yeah, that's true. The worse they smell, the better they taste, apparently.
I think that's true of most pickles from what I've heard.
I am not a fan of pickles.
Neither am I.
My little sister loves them. Absolutely loves them. I can't stand them. Apparently, Steiner ate one, but it knocked him on his butt and it made him cough and gag. Papa's airship fighter is so cool. When I grow up, I'm gonna fly with Papa. That's really tragic in hindsight. But anyway. Locke. Locke is a reference, once again, to Final Fantasy VI. Locke being one of the main characters of Final Fantasy VI. Final Fantasy VI. Yeah. Who do you think's gonna win? I'm putting my money on Ivan. Yeah, he's good, but I heard a female Dragon Knight is going to participate. I'll bet you 2 cheeseburgers. I did not know there were cheeseburgers in Final Fantasy.
They got pickles, they got cheeseburgers.
So if you talk to this man twice, I have to go take a... Yeah, he... A lot of people don't know that there's that kind of humor in this game.
Yeah, well, I didn't expect that.
No, most people don't. That's the kind of thing that's in the game Earthbound. Oh, look at the little chef. Who does he remind you of, Lacey?
Let's see. Oh, he's super cute. It kind of reminds me of Sarai, but his hat's too tall.
Yeah, that's true. I'm looking for an item here, but I forget that you can't get it until later. But yeah, there's a lot to see and do in Lindblum.
There is, and you can easily get lost, as I have done before.
Okay, yeah, you can get lost pretty easily. It's not too bad, but, I mean, it's not like they give you a map, and we all know how much Lacey loves maps in Final Fantasy IX, right? Wimpy guy. Aw, poor guy. The air is so bad here. It smells like I'm in a big oil refinery. Lindblum looks like an awesome place to live. It does not look bad at all.
It is not. It's very nice, large. Has a theater district. And nobody's selling fake tickets like Alexandria.
Yeah, jerks. Here we meet the card freak. It's either card freak or card master, I forget. But there are 2 treasure chests here, and there's also a bird in the clock tower.
Ooh.
It's a little bird. And there's a bird sitting outside the clock tower.
Burb.
Just burb. It's just something to bring up.
No burb.
But we're going to head back here because, well, there's stuff for us to find, including a church. Well, using the term church a little loosely. It is technically a church, but it was built to honor the Festival of the Hunt. And so, don't really know if I'd call it a church. Maybe a shrine, monument, I don't know.
I like how her name is Lady with an Apron.
Yeah. Yeah, love that. We could have never figured out who that NPC is without that. I thought she'd say something else, but she doesn't. Over here is...
See, I didn't get that. I'm so bad at finding those little Easter eggs and hidden things.
Yeah, you have to look everywhere in Final Fantasy IX, because it could just be in the corner by a tree. Oh, there's a tent.
Random tent.
Random tent, pretty much. Wake up, Grandma! I swear, she sleeps everywhere. Hopefully she's really asleep.
Well, if she's not, they can't use her money to go get her stuff because you stole it back in Alexandria.
Yeah, that 6 gil. Poor Grandma. Especially since 6 gil is nothing.
Festival.
It's like finding a penny outside.
That is something I noticed in Alexandria. There seem to be a lot more poor people.
Yeah. So we'll get into this. Well, a little bit. We'll see it. But most of Lindblum is actually people who are, engineers. Engineers, actors, construction workers, that kind of thing. There's a lot more jobs to do in Lindblum. Up here is a piece of armor, the leather plate, and it's really the only real reason that you come over this way. The leather plate is better than the silk shirt, and I believe only Zidane at this point can equip it.
Selfish.
Selfish. Oh, but that is the end of the part, folks. Sorry, didn't see it was ending. Anyway, next time on Final Fantasy IX.
See it.
We're going to explore more of Lindblum.
Yep, and learn more about the Festival of the Hunt.
Indeed.
All right, see you next time, folks.
Toodles.
Bye.